National anthem before the start of tonight's nightcap. Second night of the 8th Roundball Classic. Title sponsor, Green Family Stores. Look back and see Coach Lober behind us, and that's always good to see at a Lanphier game. And that reminds us that Becky Hendricks of the Real Estate Group, serving Sangamon County families for nearly 25 years now, is sponsoring our scoreboard for high school basketball on Sports Radio 1450. You can contact Becky at 725-8455. And on that scoreboard, a win for Triopia at the Beardstown Thanksgiving Tournament. Trojans have started the season 2-0. They beat Riverton 66-58. And if you missed the earlier broadcast from Stephen Decatur, what a start to the season for LT and Southeast. They beat Mount Zion 88-16. And Jim, that score reminded us of the new rule this year. It's kind of a new old rule. They are revisiting the running clock in the fourth quarter if one team has a 30-point lead, only for the regular season, though. It's not going to be in the postseason this year.
And yeah, Southeast, but it only applies for the fourth quarter, right?
Yep.
Only in the fourth quarter. So Southeast had to go through, and I don't know what LT's probably happier with, scoring 88 or only giving up 16, but pretty good way to start the season for the Spartans.
Again, in the backcourt for North Chicago, which is just 2-7 all-time in this tournament, Jorvon Presley, little senior guard. Jamar Mays, a 6-foot sophomore, and then the big front line. Rayshawn Samoa is their top returning scorer, 6'6" senior, averaged 7 points and 7 rebounds on the fourth in the state team last year. 6'8" senior Ashan Clinton and 6'7" junior Ricky Irby. Clinton and Irby both played quite a bit last year for North Chicago as well.
North Chicago has, in addition to a big front line, that's the tallest assistant coach I've ever seen.
It's good to...
He must coach the big men.
I was going to say, it's good to know his eligibility is up. Yeah, he goes about 6'9". King Coleman's no shrinking violet. And, of course, in this tournament for a number of years, we would look down the Gwendolyn Brooks bench and see big George Montgomery, but he's not coaching Brooks this year.
We don't see George anymore.
For Lanphier, they usually start guys with single-digit uniforms. 2, 3, 4, and 5, Snodgrass, Wright, Hemingway, Morgan. Carl Wright has switched from 32 to uniform number 3. And the freshman Ty Banks. Ty is T-Y-E, 6'3" freshman with that always popular basketball uniform number of 23. It's going to be Carl Wright with braided hair this season going up against Ashan Clinton in the jump ball circle. And North Chicago in red controls the tap. They head to the basket to our right at the east end of Cass Gym, which is home and has been for many years to the Sangamon County basketball tournament.
Looks like Lanphier's in a matchup zone.
Presley has the ball, top of the circle to Samoa for a 3. Missed that wide to the left, but the rebound's tipped all the way into the Warhawks backcourt, and Samoa runs it down himself.
That put a dent in the backboard, I think, John. That was a hammer shot.
Samoa made 6 threes last season. They said he does like to go out there and shoot at times, but not a very good shot on that first one. Ricky Irby misses from the high post right, but the littlest guy out there, Presley, gets another offensive rebound. Presley sends the ball low on the right side to Irby, who lays it up and in. So Lanphier couldn't get a defensive rebound, and they trailed 2-0 early. Good pass by Morgan to Wright, crashing in, and Carl Wright lays it up and in. Check that. That was Hemingway with the assist, and Wright, with a lot of contact under the basket, put it up and in off the glass. A 2-2 tie and a steal. Hemingway, though, went unnecessarily behind his back on the pass. It's stolen, but then North Chicago's Steven Rodriguez, coming back the other way, is called for the travel, and over it goes to Lanphier. We were told Jamar Mays would be the other starter with Presley, but it's little sophomore Rodriguez who's out there. They tried to alley-oop it for Wright, but a poor pass. Intercepted by Clinton, and the Warhawks are quickly to forecourt. Presley, a spin move. Good pass under the basket to Clinton, and he's fouled. And we'll shoot our first 2 staff carpet free throws of the night.
They had 3 guys in the lane for a little bit of a time. Larry Hemingway picks up the foul, first foul of the game.
Hemingway averaged 5.5 last year, as did Stanley Morgan. Larry's minutes increased as the season wore on.
Played great in the sectional over at Decatur last year.
Jaden Snodgrass for SHG averaged 7.5. Carl Wright 7.7 for Lanphier. Free throw for Ashan Clinton is no good. 6'8" senior. 2-2 tie, 6:45 to go first quarter. A pretty good crowd on this night before Thanksgiving. And as the gym quiets, Clinton lets it fly, heel of the rim, then top of the backboard, and down it goes. Friendly bounce on the second, and a 3-2 lead for North Chicago. Lanphier looking for its first lead. They go against his zone, head to the basket to our left at the west end, and a travel by Hemingway as he simply lost his concentration in the right corner.
He thought he stepped out of bounds maybe, but he didn't necessarily agree with Darren Sorter's call.
6.5 to go first quarter. 3/4 court pressure, but it's broken. Jorvon Presley behind his back on the dribble. Pass batted up in the air and stolen by Snodgrass, who cruises in and bounces to Hemingway, who was crushed by Presley and falls down hard right at the basket.
Nice ball fake by Hemingway to draw the foul, though. Presley was just coming down, doubling down on that. He sort of just ran into a guy who was falling down.
First on Presley. Stefan Dawson made that call, working with Darren Sorter and Art Moore, 3 local officials. Out it goes to Morgan, wide right. Hemingway for a deep 3, and he airballed that. Samoa is standing under the rim, grabs the rebound for North Chicago in red. Rodriguez goes coast to coast, high off the glass, no good. The shot was affected by Wright, who pulls down the rebound for Lanphier. Lions look for their first lead. Morgan up court, left side to Banks, a 3 out of the left corner. The freshman left it short. Samoa rebounds for the Warhawks 2 minutes in with a 3-2 lead. Presley to front court, over to Rodriguez. His pass at the high post right off the hands of Samoa and taken away by Lanphier.
Threw it at a 6'6" guy's ankles.
Each team has turned it over several times in the first 2:15 of this game. Sloppy start.
3 turnovers for Lanphier, 4 for North Chicago.
Hemingway in the right corner, goes across the court against the zone to Snodgrass, who eyes a 3 and missed that badly. He was well defended by Rodriguez. And Irby simply stuck his backside into Hemingway to make sure that ball would go harmlessly out of bounds and to North Chicago.
We have seen some pretty ugly shots so far today.
Lanphier has rushed 3 threes, and they haven't hit any of them. Here's one big trying to hit another. Samoa going under the basket to Clinton, but a good backtracking play by Snodgrass to break it up, and it's knocked out of bounds to the Warhawks. 3-2 North Chicago. And it comes to Presley on the right side. Ricky Irby on the baseline to Clinton at the high post right. Out top Presley, left to Rodriguez, being chased by Hemingway. And now the ball taken off the hands of Presley with a bad pass. The steal by Morgan. He comes into the other end, and a reach-in foul on Rodriguez as he got to the rim.
It's going to be Rodriguez or Presley? Yeah, Rodriguez. Second foul. Free throws for Stanley Morgan. A couple subs ready to come into the game.
6'1" senior Michael Waiters, who played a little off the bench on last year's 4th place team, will check in for North Chicago. And Makai Rose, the 5'10" sophomore for Lanphier. For Morgan, the free throw is good. Stanley didn't shoot a lot of free throws this second half of the season, but when he did shoot them last year, he was reliable at 74%. 3-3 tie, 3 minutes in. We're at about 75% capacity here at Cass Gym, the new venue for the Lanphier Thanksgiving Tournament. And they're calling it Abe's Roundball Classic. And Stanley Morgan hits the second free throw. Lanphier has its first lead. 4-3, 4:58 first quarter. Press broken. Right side of the basket, Samoa with a nice up and under move, and he banks it up and in. Ray-Sean Samoa is a nice player. He was a starter on last year's Final Four team. It's a 5-4 lead for North Chicago. Ty Banks has it on the right side, across the court, left in front court to Morgan on the side to Snodgrass for 3, and that's good.
1 for 4 on threes now for the Lions.
Jaden Snodgrass, first 3 points in a Lanphier uniform. After 2 years with SHG, 7-5, Lanphier in front, 4:20. Irby low on the left block, lost it going up. Good strip defensively by Carl Wright. Lanphier in transition. Up ahead to Banks, and he was knocked down and fouled as he approached the basket on the right side.
Looks like Michael Waiters going to pick up that foul. Common foul, no free throws. Another sub coming into the game. Corey Harper comes into the North Chicago lineup. Somebody's got to come out. Okay, that'll be Steven Rodriguez who takes a seat.
Harper only goes about 5'10", but they actually pick up a few inches in that transition. On the baseline right, Snodgrass to put it in play. Bounces under the basket to right. Too good. Head fakes, and then he puts it up and in on Samoa. Nice job by Wright to clear some space against the big guy and bank it up and in for his second basket. Lanphier's up 9-5. Now Snodgrass called for a reach defensively as he wrapped his arms around Ricky Irby at the high post right. Trying to break up an entry pass, and Snodgrass called for his first foul.
I think they called it on Carl Wright.
Yeah, you're right. It is Carl Wright, his first, and the second on the team.
KJ DeBera comes into the game for Lanphier.
That's that big sophomore that we mentioned in the pregame, Deberick. 6'7" sophomore, and he is a mountain of a man for just a 10th grader. Quincy Gilmore, a 6'4" senior, is also in for North Chicago. Both these teams going deep off the bench. Here comes Samoa to the right baseline around Carl Wright, who lost his balance, but the shot's all the way over the rim. Weak side rebound to Clinton, though, keeping it alive. His pass deflected, broken up, headed right this way out of bounds. And back to the Warhawks.
Another substitution for the Lions. Shane Chairs comes into the game, veteran.
Left-hander, 5'11" senior.
Played a little quarterback on the football team before he got moved to wide receiver.
You hear the voice of Gerald King Coleman in the background, the longtime North Chicago coach. Here's a pass on the perimeter broken up by Hemingway and knocked out of bounds at the scorer's table.
Coach Coleman not happy with his backcourt play so far.
Corey Harper running
6 turnovers so far.
Now they get a low to Samoa on the right side, and a good takeaway from behind by Carl Wright. Lanphier up 9-5, comes to forecourt. At the free throw line, jumper for DeBerick is no good, but a stuff by Wright on the tip dunk. And Carl Wright has scored 6 early, and none more impressive than those two.
Carl Wright lives for that one, though. That's the dunk that he likes.
The 11-5 Lanphier. They commit a foul at the free throw line at the opposite end.
It's 2 on Hemingway.
That evens up the team fouls at 3 per side.
Stanley Morgan is going to take his place. Rodriguez comes back into the game for North Chicago.
So 11-5 Lanphier, and Carl Wright with a thunderous tip dunk for his third basket.
Well,
whoa, North Chicago almost had 6 on the floor. Ball inbounded right through the hands of the man who was intended for, Quincy Gilmore. Lanphier runs ahead to Morgan, left to the basket with the right hand, lays it in. That's Lanphier basketball right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Get it and go. 13-5, 3:01 to go, first quarter, timeout. North Chicago back in 60 seconds.
We asked Karen Paisley from Underfake.
And we'd love to check him in. But Kevin O'Day didn't authorize us to do that, did he?
Got Lauren and Connor White handling the scoreboard and the book down the way.
6 points, Carl Wright, 4 points for Stanley Morgan, lead the way for Lanphier at the break.
And North Chicago just used the first timeout of the night. They're brought to you by Steak and Shake in Springfield and Jacksonville. 3 try out of the left corner for Presley is an air ball. Morgan on the weak side, rebounds for Lanphier. He gets bumped by Rodriguez, turns inside the free throw line, but missed. Good rebound in traffic for Ashan Clinton, all 6'8" of him. And Rodriguez travels as he approached half court on the right side. Once again, the Lanphier pressure really having an impact in the first quarter of this game.
9 turnovers against North Chicago in the first 5.5 minutes of this one.
These teams played in the first round, the first year of the Lanphier tournament back in 2015. Lions won by 29 that night. And a bad pass here thrown by Chairs, picked up by Rodriguez. Then he throws it away. Good hustle the other way, but they give it right back to North Chicago, and a layup is up and in for Gilmore. So 3 turnovers in the span of about 7 seconds, and Quincy Gilmore, who averaged 4.5 off the bench last season for North Chicago, has his first 2. 13-7. Here's a 3 try for Lanphier's Makai Rose, missing it from deep on the right side, and Presley has the rebound for the Warhawks. To the forecourt to our right, Clinton across the court left to Samoa. Over to Gilmore, back to Samoa. Outside right to Rodriguez, a ball fake around Carl Wright, shot away over the rim. They tried to volleyball it back up, and then Gilmore missed. Samoa the rebound, stuffed cleanly by Wright. And the ball out of bounds under the Warhawks basket and back to North Chicago.
Interesting putback attempt there, the volleyball, the two-handed.
Yeah, I think Gilmore had time, Jim, to come down, make the catch, and lay it up and in.
Absolutely.
But he rushed himself and missed. North Chicago gets a fourth crack at it if they can hang on to the ball, and they travel in the lane as Samoa was being harassed and shuffled his pivot step.
Turnover number 10 for the Warhawks.
1:30 to play first quarter. King Coleman gets the ear of official Stefan Dawson. As Stefan comes back to call the plays at the other end. Snodgrass up and under, wide left to Rose, penetrates the zone, a floater is good. Makai Rose, Yakima's younger brother, very impressive move, and he finger rolled it up and in from about 5 feet, 15-7 Lanphier. 1:05 to go, Lanphier stays in a matchup zone. Head of the circle, Rodriguez. We're late in the first quarter. Second game, second night of Abe's Roundball Classic, the fourth year of the Lanphier Thanksgiving Tournament.
Double team in the corner. Nice job by Lanphier.
And Rodriguez is called for the travel. Might have heard Coach Coleman complain that they're beating us up, man. But the only whistle came after the travel call and double-figure turnovers for North Chicago in the first quarter.
6'6", 6'7", and 6'8", and the coach is saying they're getting beat up.
Stanley Morgan top of the key for a Lanphier, and now they're going to call a moving screen the other way, and a turnover committed by the Lions. I'll be the first on Snodgrass, the fourth on the team.
Fouls on number 2, Jaden Snodgrass.
38 seconds in the first quarter. North Chicago will check in. Armani Rogers, a 6'3" senior. And on the front line, Ricky Irby is back in.
Okay.
Here's Jamar Mays, the sophomore guard. He had been identified initially as a starter for North Chicago, but he's off the bench here tonight. And there is some confusion at the scorer's bench, but now we're all set to go. North Chicago has 5 on the court. They are in tomato red. Lanphier in home white, and they attack the ball with Rodriguez being harassed in midcourt, and a reach-in foul will be called on Morgan, and he didn't like that call.
Morgan, or did they get Rose? They got Rose.
Yeah, Makai Rose there on the double team. That'll be the 5th on Lanphier and the 1st on Rose.
Boy, the Lions are going. Nolan Richardson, as soon as they cross half court, they're running at him, run and jump.
First game here tonight, a win for Peoria Manual, 69-50. They are flipping the brackets, though. It is not Manual whom Lanphier would face on Friday if they win this game.
East St. Louis would be the winner.
East St. Louis beat Chicago War last night, 68-65. This is really a loaded tournament field. Chicago War is the 2-time defending Class 2A champion. 7:30 Friday night for the semifinal game involving the winner of this one. 22 seconds. Mays has it to Corey Harper, back to Mays, right side Samoa from 17 off the baseline, nice jump shot. Samoa has 2 baskets, it's a 6-point North Chicago lead, 12 seconds to play. Ball popped loose before Lanphier could inbound it. Full court pressure into Snodgrass, they've got to hustle to get it across the line here, and a travel on Rose under the Warhawks basket with 8 seconds to play.
5th turnover against the Lions.
So the end of the first quarter, not going well for Lanphier, and the Warhawks can get themselves right back in it. They have trailed by 8 twice. They'll get the last shot of the quarter if they handle the inbounds okay. Out top Samoa, steps to the free throw line. The jumper is no good off the heel of the rim. Rebounded by Snodgrass, half court pass to Morgan. He got it off for 3, no good. 15-9 Lanphier in the season opener for the Lions, coming off a 26-win season last year. They lead North Chicago.
4 of 13, had 11 turnovers, 0 for 2 on threes. Lanphier, 6 of 12, 50%, 1 of 5 on threes, 6 turnovers. Leading scorer for North Chicago with 4 is Rashawn Samoa. Leading scorer for Lanphier with 6, Carl Wright.
Including a thunderous tip dunk late in the first quarter. North Chicago matching up out of a 1-2-2 zone. Stanley Morgan head of the key, swings the left side to the freshman Ty Banks. High post left to Carl Wright. Over onto the side to Snodgrass for 3, left it short, and the rebound to Samoa, who's been very good early on. Bounces it ahead for the big man. That's a poor decision. Irby couldn't make the catch as he was advancing in the front court. It's down on the court. A tie-up is called, and the Warhawks get it on alternate possession. 5
rebounds now for Rashawn Samoa. He's leading rebounder in the game. In fact, he has now out-rebounded Lanphier.
Rashawn is Raeshaun. He cuts a memorable figure out there. Not only is he 6'6", he goes about 6'10" with the hair. He's got it tied up and way high off the top of his head. And a pass goes right through the hands of Armani Rogers. Turnover number 12 for North Chicago. In transition, they get it ahead to Hemingway. Misses in traffic short on the right side, but Snodgrass pulls down the offensive rebound. Across the court left to Banks. Over Samoa with a good up and under move. He switched to the right hand and scored. First 2 points of his high school career for Ty Banks. He was a star on a championship team at Grant Middle School last year. 17-9 Lions, 6:45 in the first half. Samoa right baseline left alone. He missed. They tip it once and twice, and Clinton missed them both. Wright is there. He has it taken off his hands, though. Up and under. The first shot no good for Gilmore off a setup by Jamar Mays, and then a whistle. And the ball simply lost out of bounds to Lanphier. Well, North Chicago is crashing the boards.
Oh, yeah.
But the shooting percentage is not benefiting them.
11-4 after 1 quarter on the boards, and they just have had about 3 rebounds in this quarter so far.
Shot just 4 of 13 in the first quarter and had a couple of misses on that possession.
Well, they also took themselves out of some possessions with 11 turnovers in that first quarter.
6:20 to play first half. Snodgrass has it deep on the left side for Lanphier to Banks in the corner. Dangerous pass across the court, intercepted by Rodriguez. Lanphier turns it over quickly to the basket. At the other end, Gilmore stuffed on the left side. Layup attempt by Carl Wright. That's his specialty.
He was sitting there waiting for that one.
Nobody gets off the floor any higher or with better timing than Carl Wright. He averaged 3.5 blocks last year.
He'll get some Division I track scholarship offers, too.
They get the ball nicely through the teeth of the defense to Clinton, who buries a 6-footer off the right baseline. Ashawn Clinton, 6'8" senior, part-time starter last year. He did start in the state tournament. 17-11, the Warhawks trying to hang in there on Lanphier. 5:45 in the first half. Banks on the right side, across the court left to Morgan, a wide open 3 on line but long. One bounce rebound to Rodriguez. Up ahead to the big man Irby across the timeline. North Chicago down just 6. Bad pass by Samoa, picked off by Snodgrass with an athletic play, shaved it in. Wright wants the lob. He missed the jam but was fouled.
They set it up for him on the break. Transition dunk.
Hemingway fed Wright. Good communication between the two veterans. And Carl earned himself a couple of free throws off that foul call.
Rashawn Clinton, 42 with the foul.
Fourth on the Warhawks.
This is always a little bit of an adventure for Carl. It has been throughout his career.
Made 42 of 84 at the staff carpet foul line last year. Deep knee bend, lets it fly, and that one's no good.
A little bit of a knuckleball. Makai Rose back into the game, replacing Stanley Morgan for Lanphier.
17-11 Lanphier. They'll play at 7:30 here on Friday night in the semifinals if they win this game. Loser of this game plays in the consolation bracket at 1:30. Games are at noon, 1:30, 6 and 7:30 here on Friday. Second free throw almost hit the ceiling on a soft touch, and it topples in off the front of the rim. So Carl Wright, as is his wont, made 1 of 2, and the Lanphier lead is 7, 18-11.
7 points for Carl.
Off to a good start. Bad pass by Gilmore. Picked off Hemingway. Quickly ahead. Snodgrass to the basket. Up and under. He lays it up, and a travel. No basket. It would have been goaltending, but Snodgrass shuffled his feet under the rim to take the 2 points off the board. 6'1" senior Michael Waiters in for Quincy Gilmore for North Chicago in the backcourt. 5:05 to play in the second. Rodriguez pounding the dribble. Still in the defensive half. Gets it across the timeline, though, to Clinton. Over to Waiters' left side. To Irby, stuffed on the 15-footer off the left wing. Loose ball picked out of there by Rose, and Lanphier up 7. Off to the races. Hemingway, good pass to Wright, up and under, lays it up and
Great
in.
hands by Carl Wright.
Yeah, that pass hit Carl in the midsection, and he had to, in mid-leap, reposition his hands, make the catch and lay it up and in, and now a poor pass thrown by Clinton to nobody in particular in the left offensive corner, and yet another North Chicago turnover with Lanphier on top 20-11.
15 turnovers, 11 points, 4:34 to go, second quarter.
Up across the timeline, Makai Rose, sophomore guard. Brings it up on Rodriguez and then throws a bad pass to the left side, picked off by Waiters in transition. North Chicago, and a missed jump. Dunk by Clinton, hit it off the heel of the rim. A break for Lanphier. Hemingway ahead to Snodgrass, no good from 6. Banded at the basket by Banks, that won't go. Loose ball and a foul on Lanphier as they tried to grab a second offensive rebound. So nothing going right for the Warhawks as this 6'8" kid missed a dunk. Clinton threw it off the back iron. Ty Banks called for his first foul.
I have to believe this North Chicago team, this is a good time to play them as opposed to later, because they're gonna get this figured out. And with that size they've got up front.
6 fouls on Lanphier. North Chicago will shoot on the next one midway through the second quarter. Rodriguez just across half court on the right side. Picked up by Morgan. Bounces to Clinton for a free throw line jumper that he banks in. Second straight basket for the big guy Clinton, and timeout Lanphier. 20-13, Lions by 7. 3:45 to play second.
3:45 to go. Second
and
quarter.
It comes to Stanley Morgan, races to the basket. A tough shot fading from right to left. He missed that. It was well defended in the rebound of 5'10" senior Dwight Lawrence, who is the 6th reserve that King Coleman has used in the first half. Presley back in the game, gives it to Harper on the perimeter. Out top to Jamar Mays. The sophomore guard penetrates and coughed it up. Another takeaway for Lanphier. 3:20 left in the first half. Warhawks can't take care of the ball. Morgan up court left to Snodgrass. A ball fake, accelerates into a bad angle. Swings it outside right to Hemingway. Up and under, lays it up and in off the glass and draws the foul.
First basket for Larry Hemingway, acrobatic.
Good decision by Snodgrass to give it up. Outright first foul on Dwight Lawrence, who just entered a moment ago. Armani Rogers in the game. 6'3" senior guard for North Chicago, and he takes the place of Jamar Mays. 22-13 Lanphier. A frenetic pace, and you know that's the way the Lions want to play it. Hemingway with the staff carpet free throw, no good long. He made 10 of 17 last year. Clinton the rebound, racing to the other end. Good left-handed layup by Corey Harper for his first 2. Harper gliding in on the left side. Now full court pressure, and Lanphier up 22-15 in some distress. Morgan splits a double team though, and he's bumped and fouled just across half court.
North Chicago sort of at opposite ends, because when you've got that many big guys, you can't really play that fast, but it looks like what they do best is play fast. That was a great drive by Harper.
Harper, meantime, called for the foul at the defensive end.
Lawrence with the foul.
I checked that. That is on Lawrence. That'll be his second and the 6th on the team. That's the last common foul of the first half. Lanphier and White to inbound, 2:51 in the second.
A.J. Frazier, 5'10" junior in the game for the Lions.
For the first time this season. Now Morgan out by the volleyball line against a tight man for man. They double team him, so he gets rid of it to Hemingway left side. Baseline to Wright, who took it away from Frazier. Now they get it to Frazier in the left corner. And to Carl Wright on the three-point line. Back to Frazier left baseline, nothing there. He calmly pitches it out to Hemingway out near midcourt. Right side it goes to Stanley Morgan, and this is by far the longest half-court possession we've had in the first half. 2:15, and Hemingway steps out of bounds on the left sideline right at the North Chicago bench.
Well, North Chicago has decided to pick up the pace, and they ran the double team there, and that caused the turnover for the Lions.
Yeah, they kind of took a page out of the Morgan Park book. You think you can relax in the half court, and all of a sudden you've got bodies flying at you defensively. Now a bad decision by Harper to go between his legs on the dribble, but he somehow maintained control, and North Chicago did not turn it over.
When you said Morgan Park, I thought you meant they started trash talking. because that's what I remember about the Morgan Park game. Oh, man.
And up and under, nice move. Good feed to Armani Rogers, and he has his first two. 22-17, Warhawks are back in it, down just 5. 1:45 first half. Bad pass by Wright in the middle, picked off by Harper, backtracking defensively. Up ahead to Rogers. Out on the baseline, the pass into the hands of Lawrence, and now the little guard Presley. Presley gets it back, drives in under the basket, stuffed easily by Wright, but the loose ball to Clinton, who missed in tight from left of the rim. Rebounding foul on North Chicago, and free throws for Frazier of Lanphier at the other end.
They got Presley for his second. Makai Rose comes back into the game, or trying to come back into the game. He was going to replace Frazier. DeAndre White, another first-time player for Lanphier entering the game. DeAndre White is a 6'2" junior.
5'10" junior A.J. Frazier, one in bonus here. That one is no good, and the rebound is cleared by Clinton for North Chicago. So Lanphier has hit a drought, and the Warhawks are right back in it, down just 5 with possession in a minute 15. Up across the timeline, Corey Harper, and timeout called by North Chicago. Timeout's brought to you by Steak and Shake in Springfield.
Melody-less.
How you doing these days?
I'm great. Out and about, doing my physical therapy.
Every time I see you, you look better, a little more ambulatory. Here's another takeaway off a bad pass thrown by Samoa off the hands of Little Rodriguez under the basket. Morgan back to the other end. A floater in front of the basket won't go. Tough break on that shot, and the rebound to Harper for North Chicago. Final minute of the first half. Rogers misses from 15 off the right baseline. Bad pass thrown by Rose, though, picked off, and now the Lions have gotten sloppy, and Rodriguez returns the favor with a no-look pass that Rogers couldn't reel in on the baseline right, and out of bounds. It goes back to Lanphier.
I think King replaces somebody on every dead ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's running some line changes in, as many as 2 or 3 players at a time. He has played 7 off the bench, and Lanphier has used most of their reserves in the first half as well. 35 seconds, Banks brings it across the timeline, left side, pounds the dribble, goes to the basket, got stuffed easily by Clinton. That shot was barely off the freshman's hands, and Clinton swatted out of the bounds on the right sideline.
And Clinton baited him into that one. Keep coming, young man, keep coming. Okay, see you later.
Yeah, Ty Banks in those middle school games last year didn't have anybody 6'8" trying to block his shots. DeAndre White catches the inbounds pass right corner, double teamed, lost it, got it back, and caught a break as a reach-in foul is called on the Warhawks.
We're going to have bonus. First foul on Corey Harper. 1-1 for A.J. Frazier. No, I'm sorry. That's DeAndre White. His first trip.
22-17 Lanphier. Lions have made just 1 of 4 this quarter. 3 of 6 on the night, and they missed that one, so no bonus, and Clinton has the rebound off the White miss. 18 seconds to go first half. Let's see if North Chicago pulls it out. Nope, Rogers goes to the basket right side, missed the short shot. Rebound is loose, though, picked up and put in by Dwight Lawrence. 22-19, Lanphier lead down to 3, but they get it ahead to Carl Wright, and he'll stuff it to end the first half. Ashawn Clinton took his time getting back defensively. He'll get an earful from his head coach. King Coleman's going to lobby official Art Moore before he heads off to the locker room downstairs. Chip game, we hope to see Lanphier in it again. Tips at 8 o'clock here at Cash Gym. We thank Ron Riggle for all the accommodations out here, and we start the second half much the way the first half went, with a North Chicago turnover.
No, they almost made the steal on the inbounds. I don't think that one goes down as a turnover.
And Jorvon Presley stepped out of bounds, and Lanphier gets the basketball. Snodgrass on the right side against a tight man for man. Dribbles past one, goes up and under. A tough shot, and he's called for the travel. And as an indication there, Jim, we saw it a couple of times in the first half where Jaden is just trying to do a little too much.
Well, he missed Carl Wright on the alley-oop. They had that set up, and he missed him early, and then he tried to make something out of nothing there and was not able to.
24-19 Lanphier. North Chicago in tomato red throws it away in the left offensive corner. That is a turnover. That's number 19. Here
nice
comes
play, Larry Hemingway.
Hemingway up and under, missed the shot against a much taller defender, Clinton, who grabs the rebound for the Warhawks. No scoring yet to open the second half. Here is Armani Rogers missing a runner off the left side, but the rebound tapped out of bounds and back to the Warhawks. And Jim Lanphier is having a hard time keeping North Chicago off the glass.
Yeah, they sure are. They were able to capitalize on the turnovers, but then when North Chicago turned up the defensive pressure, Lanphier sort of went into the tank a little bit.
Here's a foul called on the reach out on the perimeter by Morgan.
One on Stanley.
He tried to intercept a pass that was lobbed up for 6'6" Rayshawn Samoa.
The odds were against Morgan on that one.
Yes, they were. 5-point lead for Lanphier. We are 50 seconds into the second half.
John, we've seen one three-point basket all night.
And Clinton misses a free throw line jumper, followed his miss once, missed again, but then put it back up and in. Good work by 6'8" senior Ashawn Clinton, and it's down to a 3-point Lanphier lead. Pass off Snodgrass's hands, caught by Banks. He tried to alley-oop for right, but the pass goes through his hands at the rim, and the Warhawks could tie this possession. Presley back the other way. Left side for a floater on the rim, and no good for Corey Harper, one of the reserves starting here in the second half, but a rebounding foul is called. And it's going to be against the Warhawks. Number 2, Armani Rogers, called for that foul. Yeah, North Chicago only attempted 2 3-point shots in the first half.
Well, with that big front line, it makes sense.
Had the coach's nephew last year, Pierce Coleman, a great 3-point shooter. But he's graduated. Wright loses it. Snodgrass picks it up. Good feed. Low left to Banks, who puts it up and in.
A lot of poise by the freshman there. Waited for the big man to come and flew by and got the bucket.
Lanphier's first point since halftime. They're back up 5, 26-21. 6:10 in the third. Lanphier back in his zone defense, but tight on the perimeter. And a kick by Morgan, out by the volleyball line. Out of bounds on the side to North Chicago. 6:04 to go, third quarter. Noisy inside Cass Gym on this night before Thanksgiving. Hope everybody is ready to enjoy the holiday. Bad pass by Harper, trying to find Samoa on the block left, and he missed him by a foot.
That was almost impossible to throw a pass that bad because there was so much traffic in there. He threw it right between everybody.
And now they compound that decision as Presley went for a steal in the press, and he's called for the bump foul.
Third on Presley.
Well, one thing about the Warhawks, they're not going to worry about foul trouble.
No.
King Coleman always plays a lot of players off his bench. He went 11 deep in the first half of the game. He's going to get Steven Rodriguez back in on the next dead ball. Lanphier across the timeline, up by 5. Lob for Carl Wright, out of his reach. He had to bring it down, and then he fumbled it out of bounds as the pass by Snodgrass was just a little too tall for Wright to jam it through. So a Lanphier turnover. I don't think Carl has missed a shot tonight, has he?
He has not. 5 for 5.
He had a tip dunk in the first quarter. And a great knifing through the lane jam in the second. Warhawks to front court. Rodriguez in some distress gives it out to Rogers. And up top to Harper. Drives around Rose. Penetrates. Pass deflected. And taken off the hands of Samoa. Carl Wright with quick hands affects the turnover. Morgan in distress, and he traveled, trying to split a double team. So the Lions' turnover count mounts.
17.
And they are catching up in that category with the Warhawks, and they don't want to do that.
21.
5:21 to play third quarter. Sloppy start to the season for both of these teams against tight defensive pressure.
What was that?
Rogers was in danger of the 5-second count, so he simply threw it off the thigh area of Stanley Morgan and out of bounds.
He had Clinton to his left.
26-21, Lanphier by 5. North Chicago has led only early in this game, 2-0 and 3-2. Lanphier's biggest lead in the first half was 9. It's 5 now. Rodriguez out on the perimeter. Sends it across the court. Dangerous pass picked off by Hemingway on a pass intended for Rogers. Touchdown pass, though, out of the reach of Rose. And once again, we have transitional turnovers, 2 of them committed within the span of about 5 seconds. Boy, this has really turned into a sloppy game.
Yeah, I was
hasn't it?
just going to say, its game is progressively, instead of getting better, it's gotten worse.
4:55, third quarter rather.
A million unforced errors.
Ashawn Clinton at 6'8". Fires a pass ahead to Samoa. He lost it, but Irby picks it up left of the basket and is fouled by Morgan.
Morgan's going to get his second.
Darren Sorter on the call, working this game with Art Moore and Stephon Dawson.
Darren's become a really good official.
He's a Sherman guy.
Yeah.
Darren has a daughter who's a good student athlete at Williamsville High School. Ricky Irby to the free throw line. 6'7" junior was good there last year, but he airballs that. Left it way short.
I go back more than 20 years with Darren. He was umpiring baseball when my son was playing. Just kind of starting out.
Let's see if Irby can give it a little more. He does on the second free throw and makes one of two. 26-22. It seems like Lanphier should be more comfortably in front. 4:40 to play in the third. Hemingway takes it to the basket and Clinton swats it rudely out of bounds. Larry might want to try a ball fake or a pass to a teammate on that drive.
Well, John, it's
yikes.
It's 3-2 North Chicago in the second half so far, and we played almost half of the third quarter.
Out it comes to Hemingway straight out front for three. That's good.
Lanphier staple play.
Second made three for the Lions tonight.
Hemingway.
Hemingway's a good three-point shooter when he gets it going. 29-22. Here's Harper having the pass taken off his hands. Good steal by Hemingway. Up court to Rose. A deep two off the left side. Left that well short, though. And air ball as he tried to stop and pop, and it goes out of bounds to North Chicago. Warhawks have won just 2 games total in the 9 they have played in the history of this event. Lions have won the last 2 championships and are 8-1 all time. Samoa to the basket after catching a long pass.
Ty Banks got him right in the face.
He sure did. And Samoa's going to blink his eyes and check his nose.
Get the right number, Art. Get the right number.
Samoa will step to the foul line to shoot a pair. Third foul on the Lions since halftime, and for Samoa, none the worse for the wear, but he misses the free throw. His first of the night.
I like the way King Coleman coaches. He's up, he's talking. Same look on his face when he's yelling or when he's patting people on the back.
Second free throw also no good, and the rebound pulled out of there by Wright, and he's fouled on the reach by Jorvon Presley.
4 on Presley.
Little guard listed at 5'4", started tonight for North Chicago, and they're going to leave him out there. Samoa will get a breather after the 2 missed free throws. And Armani Rogers is back in the game. Here's Hemingway, double teamed in backcourt, fell down and lost it. Another Lanphier turnover, and Rodriguez has it out by the volleyball line, and then Rose commits kind of a silly foul, trying to get the ball back. Mackay just came up and gave a bump to the ball handler, Rodriguez. 3:50 on the clock, third quarter. It's really been an ugly period.
Shane chairs for Larry Hemingway for Lanphier.
That made 3 by Hemingway a moment ago. His first of the season. He made 36 last year at 37%. Rodriguez almost travels, gets a free throw line to Irby, fading and missing on the jumper. Snodgrass has the rebound. Outlets to Rose. Long pass to Carl Wright. Stuffed but fouled as he tried to jam it through, and Carl will go to the line. That's the other thing about Wright, Jim. When he sees one of his teammates grabs a rebound, he doesn't waste any time getting up court.
Carl lives for the dunk. He loves it.
52, Ricky Irby called for the foul, preventing the jam. First on Irby. Team fouls are 4 per side.
11 points, Carl Wright, 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
He's got a long white sleeve shirt under the home white Lanphier uniform, and he high arches in the staff carpet free throw. Samoa for Irby, one big for another. North Chicago starts a front line that goes 6'6", 6'7", 6'8".
8-point lead, Lions.
30-22. This would match their biggest if he makes it, and he gets a friendly bouncing down. So Wright has made 3 in a row after an early miss. He's had a good night. 31-22 Lions, and Morgan gets his hands into the passing lane at midcourt and picks it off. Snodgrass comes in baseline left, forced up a shot, missed that badly. Right the rebound, left to the rim a little too hard. Got his own rebound right to the basket, and Carl will go right back to the line. Rodriguez, the sophomore guard on the reach, his second. This would be the first double-digit lead of the night if Carl Wright can hit the free throw for Staff Carpet, and he did. 2 guards in for King Coleman. Corey Harper, 5'10 senior, re-enters along with Dwight Lawrence. Also 5'10 and a 12th grader. They both played off the bench in the first half. Who didn't, for that matter?
You and I were the only 2 that didn't get in.
32-22. And for Carl Wright, and for an 11-point lead, he short-armed that one, no good, and the rebound pulled out of there by Ashan Clinton. A-C-H-A-N is that first name. 3/4 court pressure by Lanphier, and Morgan got his hands up and batted the ball right past a deft Jim Rupert. And out of bounds on the side to North Chicago.
Step slow.
And it comes to the little guard Presley out there with 4 fouls late in the 3rd quarter. He's in trouble in the left corner, and timeout North Chicago to save the possession. That's the 3rd they have used. 32-22 Lions, 3:01 to play 3rd quarter. Opening night for Lanphier on this 2nd night of the Abe's Roundball Classic here at Cash Jam. Back after a 30-second timeout for Steak and Shake.
This is Jen Chance with Welcome Home Realty. Want to sell your home? It's what I do. Want to buy your dream home? It's what I do. Want the process to be stress-free?
Okia 84-60.
Wow.
That tournament field down to just 4 teams this year, and Lincoln and Limestone play the late game tonight. Bad pass picked off by Lanphier. They have it going their way now. Carl Wright tried to go behind his back in the left corner and coughed it up out of bounds, and even Carl has to break a smile on that.
That's 20 turnovers for Lanphier.
Let's see, Miller 18, Slater 17, and Zaire Harris 13, and even Nate Borders chipped in with 12 for Springfield in their win tonight. Free throw line jumper is up and no good for 23 Dwight Lawrence. Good rebound by Banks in the left defensive corner. Snodgrass ahead to Morgan, lost his balance, flipped it off the backboard wildly, no good. Lawrence rebounds for North Chicago, ahead to Rogers, floating in right side, an offensive foul. Shane Cherish took the charge. Got back in the paint. Another turnover for the Warhawks.
Puts them at 26. They've surpassed their point total in turnovers.
Bad passer, though, picked off by Corey Harper for a short jumper off the left side. Won't go, heel of the rim. Rebound coughed up in the corner and out of bounds to Lanphier.
I think Mackay Rose had it and it got knocked out of his hand.
Half-court pass to Rose. Lanphier up 10, flips it behind Wright, who was angling towards the basket on the left side. And it rolls out of bounds, and Carl and Mackay have words as they come back to play defense.
Mackay will go to the bench, Coach Blake Turner. We'll explain to him that when you have a guy that's 6'7" that likes to go to the basket, don't throw it away from the basket, throw it towards the basket.
In the backcourt, Michael Waiters, 6'1" senior guard. He has re-entered. They get it now to Lawrence, and across the timeline left to Harper, and a bad pass under the basket, but knocked out of bounds by the defender, Shane
That was
Cherish.
a good idea, though. That one made sense. Got deflected, not a turnover.
1:54 third quarter. Lions by 10, 32-22. Out to Harper. Left side to Lawrence. Harper top of the key. Right side to Waiters. Shot no good. A shove off that was undetected, but the follow-up won't go for Lawrence. Lanphier grabs this rebound, and a foul is called on Harper of North Chicago, and he better be careful about his reaction. So bonus time for Lanphier for the final 9 minutes and 41 seconds of this game. 1:41 to go third quarter. Here are the coach's notes from the Springfield win over Cahokia tonight. Coach Crum says, let's see, Slater took over, Benny Slater in the third quarter. Cahokia was down at 1.25 and they got it down to 8. But Benny Slater had 12 in the quarter plus several assists to set up his teammates for threes. And the Senators won 84-60 over the Comanches at Roy S. Anderson tonight. Wright on the free throw, no good long. Rebounded by North Chicago. To the basket, Presley, and a blocking foul as he charged in on the left side. Had he been called for an offensive foul, he would have fouled out of the game.
Shane Chairs, Lanphier called for the foul. Drew the charge last time down, but this time he's called for moving.
Boy, Joby could be a novelist. Look at the length of these texts he's sending me. He could write the game story for the State Journal-Register. Let's see, Senators led 15-10 after 1. Free throw, by the way, is good for Jorvon Presley. 37-25 at the half, up 25 through 3 after Cahokia had cut the lead to 8, and then Senators won it 84-60, and Lincoln and Limestone playing the late game at Lincoln tonight that is just underway. 32-23, Lanphier leading North Chicago here.
6-0 run by Lanphier ended with that first free throw by Jorvon Presley.
First name is spelled Jourvon. Second free throw rattling, no, but tipped up and in. I think they're going to give it to Michael Waiters. It might have been Carl Wright who had his hands on the ball. 32-25. That turns out to be a three-point trip. Hemingway quickly back to the offensive end and a defensive foul. And Lanphier's Hemingway will shoot free throws. Yeah, you agree with me, Jim? It was Carl Wright who got his fingertips on that.
Yeah, Carl Wright got it.
Inadvertently knocked it into his own basket.
Who was the 12?
I think Michael Waiters was closest to the ball for North Chicago. There's no own goal in basketball like in your favorite sport, soccer. One in bonus for Hemingway is good. 6 for Larry. Played quite a few more minutes the second half of last season than the first, as the Lions finished in the sectional championship game, ended their season at 26-4 with the loss to Southeast. 33-25 Lanphier here, 1:25 to go third quarter. We'll join the Illini Xavier game here on 1450 in progress when we're done tonight. You can hear that game from Maui on 96.7 Bob FM. Hemingway hits them both. 34-25 Lions, 1:15 in the third. Man-to-man pressure on the perimeter as Snodgrass is harassing the ball. In the lane, Rogers up and under, missed off the side of the rim, and the big guy DeBarrick back in, grabs the rebound for Lanphier. And a foul in backcourt, and the final one in bonus for Lanphier tonight, off the foul by Dwight Lawrence, trying to take it off the fingertips of Larry Hemingway.
1 minute exactly left. 34-25 is the Lanphier lead. Larry Hemingway 2 for 2 from the line. He's got a 2 and a 3 and a couple free throws for his 7 points.
Each team has only a couple of field goals this quarter. There have been more turnovers than anything else. For Hemingway, that one is good. Nice form for Larry, who has 6 in the quarter and 8 on the night. Again, this game is not live tonight on YouTube or SPS Channel 22, District 186 cable channel, but it will be available, we are told, on Thanksgiving morning. SPS Channel 22 on YouTube. Look for the rebroadcast tomorrow. Hemingway misses the second. North Chicago down 35-25. A jumper off the left wing for Waiters won't go. Offensive rebound for Rogers. A one-handed shot is no good. DeBarrick rebounds, but he threw the outlet pass away. Presley comes in to the other end. Gives it to Samoa. Caught it right in the breadbasket. Couldn't get off a shot. And they'll reset with half a minute. North Chicago can't buy one right now. 35-25 Lanphier.
Changed pivot feet, didn't he?
Almost a travel on Waiters with 20 seconds. Rogers to Samoa, stuffed cleanly by DeBarrick off the left baseline, but the Warhawks get it back. Rogers for 3, no good out of the left corner. Good box out. All right, rebounded by Hemingway, 7 seconds. Pass broken up and stolen, and then that was a smart foul by Hemingway because it prevented what would have been an uncontested layup after he had turned it over.
Third foul on Larry Hemingway.
So 4 seconds, 4.2 left to go in the third quarter.
Ty Banks back in for Lanphier.
And Ricky Irby comes in for a very frustrated Rayshon Samoa, one big for another for North Chicago. They are 25 feet from the basket out on the right side to inbound, down 10, 4 seconds left in the third. And Rogers threw it across the court, and DeBarrick broke it up playing free safety. Wright will fire from the backcourt up into the rafters, and no good. So Lanphier doubled their lead in that third quarter from 5 to 10. We'll head to the fourth.
Where Lanphier leads North Chicago 35-25 after 3 quarters. Line shooting 38.7%, 12 of 31. Carl Wright, 14 points, 5 of 6 from the floor, 7 rebounds for Wright. North Chicago just 25.6% with 27 turnovers. Leading scorer for the Warhawks, Ashawn Clinton, with 7 points. He's also got 10 rebounds.
Yeah, 27 turnovers, Jim, and just 25 points for North Chicago. That's really the story of the game.
And Lanphier has 24 turnovers and is winning by 10.
On the right side perimeter, Waiters attacks and put it up no good. DeBarrick affected the shot. The tip try for Clinton won't go, and KJ DeBarrick grabs the rebound for Lanphier. 6'7" sophomore, well put together. He gets a return pass in front court and pops a 3 that is no good. Now, Blake Turner told us that KJ likes to shoot from outside. He misses his first 3. And a varsity uniform for Lanphier on the rebound of the Warhawks.
Well, Blake likes guys that like to make from outside, not shoot from outside.
Jorvon Presley in front court to Waiters in the right corner. Splits a double team, flips it up over to Barrett, no good. Morgan tried to save in the rebound, but hit the wrong side of the backboard as he was flying out of bounds. It goes back to North Chicago.
North Chicago 0 for 3 shooting threes. Rarely do you see it in basketball today, a team that shoots 3 three-pointers in a game.
Well, they've got that huge front line. They started 6'6", 6'7", and 6'8", and they have not all been on the floor at the same time very often tonight. But they don't have the three-point shooters that they had last year. Against the Lanphier zone, Quincy Gilmore's shot from the high post left, affected by Carl Wright, who got a piece of the shot. DeBarrick the rebound. He lost the dribble. Gilmore picked it up. The tie-up is called. And on the arrow, the basketball belongs to Lanphier. Update from Maui. They've hit halftime over on 96.7 Bob FM. 7th place game of the Maui Invitational. Xavier 43, Illinois 41. Sacred Heart Griffin loses to Galesburg tonight as Lanphier turns it over, and it results in a Quincy Gilmore layup. And a foul called on Lanphier after they inbound the ball. Their lead is down to 35-27. And Stanley Morgan called for shoving off after Lanphier had given up a layup on a turnover for Gilmore. So 35-27 Lanphier, 6:41 fourth quarter. SHG lost to the host Silver Streaks at Galesburg in overtime tonight, 87-84. And that foul on Morgan means a 1 and bonus for Corey Harper, the 5'10" senior guard for North Chicago. And a little confusion before these free throws are attempted. Is that just 6? Or was it an offensive foul? Might have been a team control foul. That must have been the call. So they'll say no free throws, but the Warhawks inbound trying to get back in it. Out to Clinton, to Presley near half court, and a moving screen set by Clinton after he delivered the pass. Have they hit 30 turnovers yet?
Not yet. I'll let you know.
Not for a lack of try. Timeout, Blake Turner. 35-27, his team leads. 35-27, Lanphier leads North Chicago. 6:38 to go fourth quarter. Lanphier in the double bonus, Warhawks in the conventional bonus. 5'11" sophomore guard Michael Owsley III in for Lanphier for the first time. He played a little varsity ball as a freshman last year. Snodgrass under to Banks, good shovel pass left of the rim to Wright, but the shot defended by Clinton Well, it's no good. Outlets to Harper, who races to the other end and lays it up and in. Second basket for reserve senior Corey Harper, and all of a sudden it's down to a 6-point game. 35-29 Lanphier, full court pressure, trouble getting it across, and they've thrown away. Intercepted by Armani Rogers, but he traveled.
No, he's going to call a foul.
Oh, they're going to say a shove off by Armani Rogers, the man with the ball, and turn it over to Lanphier.
Now they're at 30, John.
So they continue to wage a battle here with their point total. 30 turnovers, 29 points, but the Lions up only 6. Fast break, pull-up jumper by Ty Banks, no good from 15 left side. Weak side rebound, Snodgrass, fading shot blocked by Gilmore. Loose ball to Rogers, and the Warhawks have a chance to cut it to 4 or 3 this trip. Up court right, it's Gilmore. Penetrates against the defenders and floats it up and in off the right baseline. And it's a 4-point game, 35-31, and Darren Sorter has a whistle after the ball went through the basket, and he's calling something on North Chicago.
That'll be a technical foul.
Technical foul
On Gilmore after the basket.
So 2 free throws for Hemingway in the ball, and that's a big break for Lanphier.
I'm trying to win him on my side, man. Come on, man. Come on.
Hemingway's free throw is in and out, no good. Coach Coleman playing to the crowd behind us. Not sure what Gilmore did after that ball went through the basket.
I think it was a celebration, a taunting foul.
Hemingway hits the second staff carpet free throw. He's made 4 of 7 tonight. And has scored now 9 points. Lanphier up 36-31, and they'll inbound off the technical foul call. 5:38 to go. This one not secured by any stretch of the imagination. North Chicago now in a tight man. Morgan out by half court. Just to the right of center. Was trying to pass it to Wright, who wasn't looking for it, and a takeaway. Gilmore goes coast to coast and lays it up and in.
Yeah, Carl Wright was set up at the high post, and he turned his head when they made the entry.
36-33. Lions getting very sloppy up 3, and a pass by Banks is swatted out of bounds rudely by Clinton. Banks was trying to hit Carl Wright under the rim, but Clinton knocked it out of bounds. Lanphier with just a 1-possession lead, and the limited North Chicago crowd behind us starting to get back in this game. Lions had led by 10 just a moment ago. This is a run of 8-1 for North Chicago. Hemingway penetrates left side and he'll go to the free throw line as he's fouled, taking it to the rim.
Armani Rogers, number 4 on Armani Rogers.
Fouls on Warhawks, number 2, Armani Rogers.
36-33. Hemingway has made 4 of 7. That one is in and out, no good.
Lions have let this one slip a little bit. Need somebody to stabilize it for him here.
Let's see if the senior guard Hemingway can do that. Deep knee bend, free throw good. He swished that, and Hemingway is the second Lion to double figures, joining Wright, as he has scored 10. 37-33 Lanphier, just under 5 minutes. Gilmore front court, right side. Wright extends the defense on him, stole the ball and then saved it in bounds, but Hemingway flipped it out of the reach of Snodgrass up court. Another sloppy transition, turnovers each way.
29 on Lanphier now.
And the ball back to North Chicago. 4:45, we have had a combined 60 turnovers in this game.
Lions have had only 2 points in this quarter, both of them free throws by Larry Hemingway.
Just across half court, it is Jorvon Presley, little senior guard. Backs out the dribble to the half court line. Winner plays at 7:30 on Friday night. Loser drops into the consolation bracket, plays at 1:30. Pass off the hands of the target, Rogers, but they get it back. Warhawks keep the possession. Harper into the left corner to Gilmore, who all of a sudden has come alive. Gives it to Harper. Push shot from 15 won't go. DeBarrick the rebound, and he's fouled. Good rebound in traffic for big KJ DeBarrick, and he'll get 2 free throws at the other end.
5th foul on Armani Rogers.
That'll be his final foul
Rogers
for the
becomes the first player to foul out.
2 points, 2 rebounds.
6'3" senior. One of 7 reserves that Coach Coleman has used tonight off the North Chicago bench. So 2 for DeBerick, D-E-B-E-R-I-C-K. KJ, 6'7", sophomore, free throws good. He's got a nice stroke. He missed a 3 earlier tonight. Lions lead climbs to 5, 38-33. Next one for DeBerick is also good. 2 big free throws there. And Lanphier's up by 6. Double bonus for Lanphier the rest of the way, and we are at the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Lanphier in a 2-3 zone. Harper at the top to Clinton in the middle, and his pass to the right side knocked out of bounds by Hemingway of Lanphier.
Samoa's going to come back into the game. They'll go really big now. Who are they? Oh, okay. Somebody's got to come out. Okay. The 5'4" guy is coming out, and the 6'6" guy is in.
So they've got 6'6" and 6'8" as Clinton is out there as well. Good penetration by Harper, goes to the left hand and misses. Tip try won't go. Rebound Snodgrass. All of a sudden he's free ahead of the field, and he lays it up and in.
First 2-point basket.
41-33 Lanphier. Samoa misses a 3 off the left side. A big transition there, and DeBerick rebounds for Lanphier. And the sophomore post player has given the Lions some good minutes off the bench. Snodgrass left corner for 3. Left that well short. May have rushed that shot. And the rebound deflected off the hands of Carl Wright. Now to bounds to the Warhawks. Eight-point lead Lanphier. It has not been easy for them to separate. Trying to beat North Chicago for the second time in this event. Lob pass deflected but caught by Clinton on the right baseline. Return pass broken up and stolen by Hemingway. Snodgrass across the timeline, headed to the east basket. Back to Larry Hemingway, thought about a 3 but wisely pulls it out. That's a veteran play there. Down under 3 minutes. 41-33. Lanphier spreads the floor for the first time tonight. Now Hemingway penetrates, and a late whistle and a reach-in foul called on Michael Waiters. 2 free throws for Larry Hemingway, 2:51 on the clock.
For Warhawks foul on number 42, Akon Clinton.
Ashawn Clinton with the foul. That's 3 on Clinton. Larry Hemingway back to the free throw line. He's kind of been living there.
He's attempted 9, made 5. 2 here in the double bonus, and that one's good.
Lanphier's lead back to 9.
Thank our buddy John Staff and Staff Carpet for sponsoring free throws again this year. You can shop their convenient location, Browning Road and Veterans Parkway, 7 days a week once we make it through the holiday tomorrow. 42-33. Once again, Lanphier could establish a double-digit lead, and they do. Hemingway hits the free throw, and Larry has 12 tonight. 43-33, Lions by 10, 2:45. And where is the offense going to come from for North Chicago? Free throw line jumper for Lawrence is good. There's your answer. 5'10" senior Dwight Lawrence, and now Lanphier throws it away on the inbounds. 43-35. The Lions lead down to 8, and a travel on Gilmore as he penetrated, starting from the top of the key.
.225 to go. Lanphier leads by 8 over North Chicago.
Stanley Morgan handling the ball under the Warhawks basket, brings it across the timeline, gets a screen from Wright. Morgan gets it back left corner, baseline jumper. They didn't need that shot. He missed it. DeBerick rebounds. Good work by KJ, and he'll go to the line.
I've got him for 7 rebounds now.
Yeah, he's done a nice job.
He really has.
KJ DeBerick, 6'7" sophomore. King Coleman wants to plead his case with Jim here.
Must
2:10 to
have,
play
because he's
fourth
shooting
quarter.
free throws.
I don't want to interrupt it with play-by-play. DeBerick hits the free throw. We don't have Coach Coleman mic'd up, but we may as well have. Second free throw, no good. DeBerrick made 1 of 2. Lanphier up 44-35. Splitting a double team is Corey Harper.
Oh, no, he didn't travel.
He's called for the walk.
Wow.
2:02 to go fourth quarter. And just kind of a wry grin from the North Chicago coach.
34 turnovers on my stats.
Morgan passes it behind Snodgrass. Another takeaway. Layup rolls off the rim. No good for Lawrence, and a break for Lanphier as Carl Wright grabs the rebound. Carl, making like a point guard, goes all the way down to the other end, lays it up and in with the right hand, and will go to the line.
All right.
How about that?
Carl Wright, coast to coast.
6'7" senior got the defensive rebound and took off for the east end of Cass Gym, and the Lions have their biggest lead. Reach-in foul called on Michael Waiters, 46-35. And the free throw for Carl Wright is good, nothing but net, and he has scored 17. Carl has made 5 of 8, and Lanphier is up by 12. Here's a 3 try off the right side for Harper. That's no good. DeBerrick another rebound, and Lanphier now seems to have this one salted away. Snodgrass ahead to right, forecourt, goes for the jam and missed it on the double clutch. Off the back iron, but another offensive rebound for DeBerrick, who lays it up and in. Carl tried to put the icing on the cake, but slammed it off the heel of the rim, and timeout King Coleman. Their fate appears to be sealed. 1:21 fourth quarter. Lanphier has pushed it out to 14. 49 Capital Thanksgiving Tournament. They'll take on Peoria Central in the semifinals on Friday night. Central knocked off Eisenhower tonight, 69-48.
Coach Coleman has now emptied his bench.
And he has taken a seat on the bench.
No, he hasn't.
Up and under, shot blocked off the hands of McDuffie, Raquan McDuffie. Rebound down to Carl Wright, and he stepped out of bounds. Oh, he's right in front of you.
Yeah.
I needed to look to my right. Well, he's a hard guy to miss. Josian Woods, a 6-foot junior, has entered. He tried to get the ball in bounds. It was knocked right back to him and off his hands and out of bounds to Lanphier. Well, the Lions' pressure defense has been the story of this game. Morgan across half court, left side to Hemingway. It hasn't been pretty for the Lions.
No, but the two coaches are standing right at midcourt visiting as the game proceeds.
Having a nice Thanksgiving Eve conversation with Lanphier having put this game away.
This is a North Chicago tradition. They come down, spend the night. Came last night, I think. Spend the night, have Thanksgiving. They arrange it for Thanksgiving to be fed to the team.
Well, dribbling exhibition by Morgan out by half court. Gives it to Hemingway. Steven Rodriguez thought about fouling him, but Coach Coleman asked him not to do that. Now the Lions will dribble out the final 10 seconds. Morgan holding the ball on the hip. Both teams walking off the court, and Lanphier is 1-0 in the 2018-19 season. They win it